My dudes, what is up? Welcome to my tiny house futon. It's been a while. My name is Stacy. I haven't been putting out videos as frequently as I wanted to. And, it's December of 2022, starting a fresh new year in a few weeks. And obviously, this time of year is a time where a lot of people start to set goals or resolutions for the new year. I like to take it as a time to reflect, reevaluate my intentions, particularly with this channel. I've been feeling kind of creative burnout. When I first set out to make this channel, the reason why I wanted to create it is because I wanted to create the content that I was desperately trying to find. When I was going on my tiny house journey, trying to understand all of these bylaws, trying to figure out where I could park this house, things I needed to take into consideration when I was designing the house, when the house was being built, what materials I should use. There really is not a playbook out there or someone who is going to be able to guide you step by step throughout the whole process. It's just such a niche market. And there are people who are willing to give you that information if you pay for it. And I know, like, the whole reason why I got into a tiny house to begin with is because of the lack of affordable housing. And so if you're also in a position where even buying a tiny house is a stretch for you financially, or you're going to have to take out a loan or something like that, and you're putting your life savings into this, I don't want you to further be gate kept from the information that you need in order to make this possible. So I always had the intention from the beginning, I'm going to give people the information that I was trying to find myself. It's always going to be for free. That was pretty much it. That was what I set out to do from the beginning. And then once you're actually on YouTube or Instagram, those are the only two channels that I create content for. Even though I'm not in a position where I'm monetizing off of my content, I think, I don't know, you can tell me if you create content yourself, that you find yourself in this rabbit hole of wanting to appease your audience. I definitely want my information to spread to as many people as possible. I do sometimes concern myself with growing my audience. What was very interesting and unexpected is that my audience on YouTube grew faster than my audience on Instagram. Instagram, I think, is a very shallow, surface level platform. People want quick, aesthetically pleasing content. People don't want to listen to you talk for more than 30 seconds. YouTube, I think, in a way, is a lot more nuanced. It's a place for longer form conversations to happen. I definitely enjoy this nuanced, long form style of content. I'm definitely making content on Instagram a lot more frequently than I'm making content on YouTube. But I gotta be honest, it really discourages me from wanting to create the content that I actually want to make. So let me give you an example. I posted this video that I really put very little effort into. So it's one of these formulas. It's not an idea that I came up with myself. I saw somebody else do it. Especially on Instagram with Reels being very popular, they have audio that one person will use and then everyone else will kind of use the same audio. It got 13,000 views and 188 likes. And that might not seem like a lot to you, but let me compare it to a video that I put a ton of effort into, that I recorded with my tripod from multiple angles, that I put a voiceover on, that I edited, that was an important message that I wanted to get across, which was buying secondhand technology, in this case a laptop. It had 423 plays and 19 likes. Another DIY video, 215 plays and 16 likes. If I use music that I actually like in a video from a band that I actually support and buy their albums, it gets like 200 plays. I'm noticing myself, instead of coming up with my own original ideas, I'm trying to find what are these trends, what are these TikTok or Instagram reel trends that everybody else is doing. And when I see these videos, I don't actually like them. Sometimes they're cute, they're funny, they're short. It's not engaging, it's not interesting. I'm not learning anything new. I'm getting to the point now where when I'm engaging in Instagram, all the content looks the same. It's like I've seen this before. You know, as a photographer, which is something that I've always enjoyed since I was a kid, the fact already that nobody is even looking at photo content anymore, and I started getting into making videos, not only for me, but also for my clients, you know, in the business that I run. That's not even the medium that I really wanted to create with. It's something that I feel pressured to make because that's what people are consuming. So there is a reward system that's at play, even though this is not a business and I'm not trying to monetize off of this. But it is very discouraging when you put a ton of effort and time. Some of my videos take me like 4 hours to film, to come up with the idea, to write the script, to record the script, to edit, to write the caption, to do all the hashtag research. I put so much time and effort into it, and it gets like 200 views. So on YouTube, I might not get a ton of views, but I get a lot of comments and people actually asking questions, people having conversations with me, people having conversations with one another, answering each other's questions. And I love that. I would much rather see more of that and get less views. I don't really care about how many subscribers I get. I would much rather get my videos out to more people. So when I come back to revisiting what was my intent with this YouTube channel, informative, educational videos, very factual, straight to the point. It's not my personal opinion. Some of it might be from my personal experience, but it's not my opinion about the zoning laws or how to, you know, winterize your tiny house or whatever. That's just like information that you might find helpful. Now, when I look at where I actually want to take this channel in the future, that's also, you know, I'm going to be honest and say that it's a little scary to think about because there are some other changes going on in my life right now which make me reevaluate how personal I'm going to be online. There are a lot of topics that I want to talk about, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't put that online because it might be viewed one day by a potential employer. But I think going forward, I would like to make more conversational videos. I want to make videos just talking about... Even when I say that, I'm like, what do I want to talk about? I guess that's the real question, because the things I want to talk about, I am nervous to talk about. I don't want to talk about, let's say, climate change, for example, if I don't really do my research and make sure I come prepared with accurate information. I'm not a climate scientist. I'm not any kind of scientist. And I don't want to just spout my opinion because that's not very applicable or helpful for anybody. I don't necessarily always want to answer questions. Maybe I just want to ask questions and pose questions to you that you can explore yourself. I think that's the whole purpose of creativity. The creative process is to not necessarily answer questions, but to ask them. One video that is top of mind that I really enjoyed making and that I'm really proud of is on the topic of minimalism. Those are, you know, the kinds of videos that I want to be creating in the future that are still not scripted, but are more, I guess, passion driven and led by what I'm actually interested in, like having a conversation with my friend about. And those, I think, are the kinds of videos that I like to watch. You can listen to them while you're doing something else, maybe washing the dishes. It's more of an informal podcast style. I want to at least experiment and give it a go for a few months making content like that. I'm gonna kind of wrap this video up by extending the olive branch to you. I take requests. Let me know what you want to see videos about. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. I hope you guys have a lovely holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus for the rest of us, whatever it is that you celebrate. I know it's a stressful time of year for everybody. So take some time to take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting rest. Make sure you are drinking plenty of water, not overextending yourself if you don't need to. And starting the new year with a fresh new slate, I'm definitely going to be making a video about the changes that I was mentioning and how I think society perceives them. I think it'll be an interesting video, so I hope you will join me in that one. But until then, that is all for now, folks. Take it easy.